Here comes the, y'all don't really want it like that. Yeah. Here comes the, no. Here comes the, oh. Here comes the, y'all don't really want it like that. Yeah. Here comes the, no. Here comes the, oh. Here comes the, y'all don't really want it like that. I'm ready for love.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, whatever time it is that you are listening to this during your, what is this, day 19, 20, 21, 22 of quarantine. You have reached the Sleeperwire show. We have the Blitz crew on the air with you, finishing up our Dynasty trade value game. With me is Mr. Rob Rose. Rob, how are you handling quarantine, sir?
Well, luckily for me, and very fortunately, I'm still working. I am one of the essential irrigation installers. So,
fantastic.
Working hard.
So you're not locked up in the house all day, right?
No. Actually, I have a tan right now.
Nice. I have a feeling all four of us are considered essential, which, I mean, if anybody knew the four of us, they all know we're essential. Jason, I've got Jason with me. How are you doing this evening, sir?
Yeah, it used to be awkward when you'd start a podcast and you'd have to go, well, happy evening to everybody. And, you know, you're recording in the morning or they're listening to it in the afternoon. But with everybody locked up, nobody knows what day it is. Nobody knows what time it is. I think that awkwardness that we have when we record these shows has just spread out across the globe. Yep. So I have to give you props. Good job, George.
Thank you. And last but certainly not least, we have the dirty one himself, Mr. Mike. Dirty Jobs, how you doing, sir?
Not too bad. I think I'm starting to understand what it's like to be Canadian at this point in time. I feel like this is what it's like living in Canada at all times.
Being super polite.
You're super polite? Is that what you mean?
No, you just don't. You don't come out from underground until a certain year, and so it's not really quarantine, it's hibernation. It's kind of the same thing.
Okay, we'll go with that. I'm not going to argue with you. So for those that have been following along, we did the Dynasty rookie running backs, Dynasty rookie wide receivers, and now we're going to wrap up with the Dynasty Dynasty quarterback trade values. We've been using the trade calculator of Dynasty trade calculators to get all our evaluations. I know some people have reached out and asked exactly what calculator we've been using to play this game with. And so I did want to give them a little bit of props. You can get Dynasty Trade Calculator at dynastytradecalculator.com. There's a small fee to pay for the service, but it is actually one of the best services out there, and it is worth the fee itself. Recapping of the scores real quick. We have Rob. He's in the rear with all the gear. He's got 3 points. And tie for first is Jason and Mike with 5 points apiece. So this is still anybody's game. Anybody have any questions or anything they want to say before we jump right into the quarterbacks?
Just a reminder, it is a one quarterback league, right? We're not switching the...
So I actually, for the quarterbacks, I have both superflex scores and I have single quarterback scores. And the reason I took down scores for both was because a lot of people do play superflex and a lot of people also play single quarterback. I did it mostly with the superflex scores just to give those that are playing superflex an idea of how much the quarterback's value is increased when going from a standard one quarterback league to a two quarterback or superflex league. So for purposes of this game, we will play it as a single quarterback league. But when I reveal the scoring, I will reveal the scoring for both a standard one quarterback league and a superflex two quarterback league.
Awesome.
Sweet.
All right. So we're going to get right into the game here. First on the clock is Jason. Jason, you are trying to acquire probably the number one quarterback in the NFL, Ryan Fitzpatrick. No, I'm just kidding. Patrick Mahomes, sir. You're trying to get Patrick Mahomes. He's going to be first one up.
Oof. And I've got to say, Patrick Mahomes is somebody I have almost no shares of. But the only reason I have him in one league is because I drafted him, and I haven't been able to sell him yet. But and it's a single quarterback league, so it is a little harder to get rid of him. But I'm always trying to move these top tier quarterbacks for some other skilled position players, and all of that to say, I want to give you, let's say, I don't typically trade for quarterbacks. If I had to trade up to get him, if I had to give you too much to get him.
Well, Jason, we are trading for quarterbacks this whole episode.
I know, but I don't want to.
So you're going to have to give me valuations to trade for a quarterback. That's kind of the way this is going to go. Just want to give you a heads up.
This is going to be tough for me. I'm going to take Kenyon Drake and a 2-6. Kenyon Drake and a 2-6.
Kenyon Drake and the 206 in this year's draft. Okay. Next on the clock, we have Rob.
So I'm going to play this a little differently, and I'm going to try and give you the 1-for-1. I'm torn between two guys, and I think I'm going to offer, because this is where I'm kind of thrown for a loop. I play mostly in superflex, and I'm not super great at the point evaluations for these players. I've never seen it, so this is rather new to me. I'm going to give you Zeke for Patrick Mahomes.
Okay. And Mike, that leaves you up next.
Okay, so I think Rob went over. So what did Jason give you again?
Jason gave me Kenyon Drake and the 206.
Can I give you Kenyon Drake and the 205 just to be a jerk?
Oh, that's a total.
You're gonna $1 him.
Tick move.
That's the ultimate $1 move right there. I had to think about it. No, for me, I think I'd probably try to send you Mike Evans straight up.
Mike Evans. All right. So of all of those, I don't think Jason's would get done for Mahomes. I think Rob's is the only one that would get done. I don't think Evans would get done if you were offering that. And it's not based upon what their values are according to these trade calculators. It's just I'm not sure that would be enough to get Pat Mahomes. Like the calculator's probably going to tell me otherwise, but I just personally I don't think it would be enough to get it done.
See, the problem is in a single quarterback league, I undervalue quarterbacks so much because while Patrick Mahomes is a leaps and bounds better player than most guys you're going to get, the difference to me between Ezekiel Elliott and the next running back that you're possibly going to have on your roster is that much bigger. Like we talk about it all the time in draft. It's like the value you get taking some of these running backs and wide receivers over the value you get with quarterbacks, because on any given week with matchups, Pat Mahomes isn't that much head and shoulders ahead of the next guy. The next guy who's playing a bad Miami Dolphins team. So you start, Sam Darnold.
We won 5 games last year, sir.
I'm just saying, like, you get what I'm saying, and that's like in Superflex, this whole thing changes, and I think Pat Mahomes is worth Ezekiel Elliott easily.
Okay, so I think going forward, we'll go with Superflex just to give these quarterback values.
And that's just me, because like I will continue to undervalue these quarterbacks in a single and probably lose because of it.
Yeah, see, I feel like I overshot even just with Mike Evans, but I think you're right. I don't think that gets the trade done. I don't think somebody's going to say, "Oh yeah, I'll take Mike Evans for Patrick Mahomes in a dynasty league." But I feel like Mike Evans on this trade calculator is going to be overvalued over Patrick Mahomes.
Well, so I'll tell you this much, and this is the difference between a standard one quarterback league and a superflex league. Patrick Mahomes' value in a standard one quarterback league is 22.6.
Yep.
His value in a superflex league is 66.7.
Jeez. Yeah, that's crazy.
So it went up almost 24 whole points just going from,
44 40 points.
44 whole points going from standard to superflex. That's yes. But because I said we were going to go standard scoring and quarterback league, which is what you guys gave me for Mahomes, we'll stick with that for the first one, and then we'll move over to superflex for the remaining quarterbacks. So with Kenyon Drake, he scored 14.9 on the trade calculator. The 2020 second round pick number 6 scored 6.1. That gives you a total value of 21.0. That was the only one that did not go over.
Yeah, I knew I went over when I said it, but like I said, I don't think it'd still get it done.
No, I think like in a one quarterback league, Zeke for Mahomes, I could see that getting done. And that in a single quarterback league, Zeke scores a 50.6 and Mahomes is 22.6. So it's almost 30 points higher for Zeke. So that's the only one that I could see getting done. Mike Evans, like you said, Mike, you thought you would overshot the value on him. You did. Mike Evans carries a value of 36.7. So roughly 14 points higher than Mahomes in a single quarterback league.
Yeah.
So the other thing I've got to ask is, I'd love to get the Dynasty Trade Calculator guy on, but last time we did this, I want to say Kenyon Drake was around 15 points. So he's actually gone down in value, and I don't know what happened in Arizona to cause him to go down in value.
Well, it's a good thing somebody takes detailed notes. If you give me 1 second, I will tell you what Kenyon Drake's value was.
I want to say it was like 15.1.
So the last time we played Jason, Kenyon Drake's value was 14.9. So it did not change.
Oh.
It has not changed from 2 weeks ago till now. It has remained the exact same. So that's nice. I agree. I would love to get the one of the guys from DTC on here eventually. Maybe I'll reach out, see if we can get a show with them on to go over some of these values that we've seen that we weren't really sure of. I mean, we all know it's done by algorithms and whatnot, but those are set in by individuals, so they can change easily. The next quarterback we're going to go over is going to be Mr. Russell Wilson. Rob, I've got you going first, and remember, we're going to jump over to Superflex on this.
All right. Well, Russell Wilson is still in my top 6 quarterbacks, maybe. Definitely top 10. So I'm going to pay a little bit for him, but I'm not going to pay a whole hell of a lot. Let's see. So let's make it ironic. Going in Superflex. Gosh, man. That threw me for a loop that Patrick Mahomes was 3 times more valuable in Superflex.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like when I was going through and setting up all the scores for these and writing down the huge differences between standard and superflex, it was amazing to see that the values changed so much.
All right. Well, I think I'm going to give you Miles Sanders and the 106, sir.
Miles Sanders and the 106.
Yes.
Okay. And Jason, you're next.
Can I say Mike Evans? We already know his value, but can I just say him?
Yeah, I'll allow that.
Okay, because I think that's the kind of deal. Like, I thought about Godwin with hearing how much quarterbacks go up, taking into account that Russell Wilson's in his 30s and not in his early 20s, so he's not going to be up in the 60-point range, I don't think. I'm going to say Mike Evans.
Okay. And Mike, what do you got, sir?
Man, that is a tough one. Because I was going to say Mike Evans again, too. I'm like, can I just say Mike Evans again? Because I feel like that's around the base value that you're looking for
you can absolutely say Mike Evans again. Like, I don't think...
I can't say it if Jason just said it, dude. That'd be crazy talk. Let's see here. So shifting gears, I would say I'd offer you, like, say, Kareem Hunt, and let's see here. What kind of wide receiver would I package him with that would be good enough to get that trade done? Because Russell Wilson, let's not lie to ourselves. He's a little bit older. He's definitely not the Dynasty target that he was, a few years back. I mean, he's still good for Dynasty, but I mean, how much longer type thing with Russell Wilson that we're talking about here. So I'm going to say him and AJ Green. I'm going to add AJ Green, and that'll be age for age with a little bit of youth upside.
You're going to be surprised at yours. I'm just going to throw that out there now. Because I was shocked. So when I put Kareem Hunt in, like, I was shocked at his value.
Let me just guess. I'd guess 14 is what I'm guessing.
Okay. You're not close, but okay. Like I said, you'll give me 1 second because I'm tallying up yours right now, and then I will go over this. But yeah, putting in Kareem Hunt, I was shocked at his value in this calculator. We'll start with Russell Wilson's value. So in a single quarterback league, his value is 15.0. In a superflex league, his value is 44.4.
Oh, wow.
Yep. Rob offered up Miles Sanders, who carries a 28.2. He also offered up the 1.06. That was a value of 22.0, which gives him a total of going over of 50.2.
But not
So
terribly off the.
No, you're within 8 points. So went over slightly. I think if you would have went with like maybe the 108, the 109, you probably would have been right there. But I think, like, if it's me, if I had Russell Wilson in a Superflex league, and let's say I had, a stockpile of young quarterbacks, I would accept that deal for him. Jason offered up Mike Evans, as discussed with the Patrick Mahomes trade. Mike Evans carries a value of 36.7. So, roughly, again, 8-ish points off under. And then here's the one that blew me away. In a Dynasty league, Kareem Hunt carries a value of 8.0. Like, I think that is extremely low. I get, he's in a timeshare with Nick Chubb right now in Cleveland, but I still think his value should be higher than 8 points. AJ Green, his value is 4.4. So that gave Mike a whopping total of 12.4. So he was off by about 32 points.
So do you think Kareem Hunt, his issue is more because didn't he get into trouble again this offseason, and they haven't done anything about it yet? But I thought there was some kind of issue he had this offseason. I think the issue with Kareem Hunt is he keeps putting himself in a position to not be able to play football.
So I haven't seen, and I'm looking it up right now, but I haven't seen that he's done anything to possibly not be playing football this year.
Yeah, that would be news to me as well. And right now, with no news going around, you'd think that would be something circulating more than
Right.
just.
Yeah.
Okay, so January 27th, 2020, Kareem Hunt's arrest video has surfaced, and it shows hold on. Anyway, Kareem Hunt only received a citation for speeding during the stop. Police found a bag of weed in his car, as well as an open bottle of, and this slowly opening, citation for speeding, open bottle of vodka. So they have obtained the dash cam from the arrest showing how much he's pleading with the officer while trying to explain himself. So, again, not the end of the world. He had weed. He also had an open bottle while he was driving.
The weed in the NFL now is not a thing. Josh Gordon has lost millions because of that.
But getting arrested because you had an open container is not a good look for.
He was cited.
Heartbreaking.
He was cited. He was given a ticket for speeding.
They could still look at misconduct.
They can. They absolutely can, and he does have a history, but I don't think that plays that much of a role in the value on this calculator, to be honest.
Right.
So having
to John Jones, that's really not all that bad.
But the fact that he continues to do stupid things, because the NFL not taking weed seriously was after January when this occurred. So the fact that he keeps doing dumb things over and over again may be hurting his value.
It's possible. I'm not going to give it that much credit, but it's definitely possible. I don't think that when they put in their algorithms, that is taken into consideration. Like, I think it's taken more into consideration by us, analysts that actually look at this stuff and we pay attention to that stuff. But I think when you put it in the algorithms, I don't think criminal misconduct history is one of the things they have in their algorithms. Our next person up the bat is going to be Kyler Murray from the Arizona Cardinals. Mike, you're up first on this one, sir. What are you giving up to get Kyler Murray?
Kyler Murray, man, that is tough because he is, especially now with DeAndre Hopkins as a weapon of his. That's going to be such a big deal right there. Goodness sakes. What am I going to give you for him? I'm going to say I'm going to give you DeAndre Hopkins, and I'm going to call that good. I think DeAndre Hopkins straight up for Kyler Murray is what you're going to have to pay in a super flex, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
All right. Rob, you are next on the clock, sir.
All right. Well, I'm going to go to a different position group, and I'm going to offer you, let's see, I'm going to give you Mark Andrews, and we are going for Superflex, right?
Yes. Yeah, everything going forward will be Superflex.
Right on. So I'm going to give you Mark Andrews and Royce Freeman, who I don't think carries very much value, but I think I need to add just a little bit to Mark Andrews. I'm hoping that his breakout season values him high enough at the position group because he's one of the youngest breakouts. Obviously, George Kittle's a little ahead of him, but Travis Kelce's getting a little bit older. I don't know if Mark Andrews has done it, so I may be undershooting here, but I feel like I'm not going to go over 3 times in a row. So I'm going with this.
Okay. And Jason, what do you got?
I'm going to give my trolling answer here. I'm going to give
I'm
the
hoping you give the same thing that you traded to get him.
I am. I'm going to give you a 2020 second DJ Chark and Darius Slayton. And that did get me Kyler Murray in a Superflex league.
What 2020 second, though?
2020 second, 4th overall pick, 204.
All right.
Or was it 206? I'm sorry, I think I gave away 206, but I'll leave it 204 just for this trade.
All right, give me 1 second. I got to put all of this in there.
DJ Chark. Good Lord. Who'd you make that trade with?
I don't want to hoose any names.
Okay.
That's awesome.
I have in this league, I have DJ Moore and Cortland Sutton, and I was fully expecting to have to get rid of one of those guys. I got asked for DJ Chark and Darius Slayton, and I'm like, sold American.
Yeah. So how about this this question, though, since we're actually talking about dynasty trade values, would you have given up either Cortland Sutton or DJ Moore to get Kyler Murray right now?
With my quarterback situation, I wouldn't have had to give up anything else, right? I would easily have given up Sutton and was hoping I wouldn't have had to give up more. But with my quarterback situation the way it was, I probably would have given up one or the other, but it would have been almost pretty much straight up at that point. So Sutton, I think I probably would have had to throw in. I might have even thrown Darius Slayton in and gotten rid of 2 wide receivers for Kyler Murray there. But DJ Moore, his value for whatever reason is skyrocketing. He's a talented player, but I'm going to try and sell him because his value is never going to be higher than it is right now.
Well, with Robbie Anderson in Carolina, I don't know that DJ Moore's value is going to be as high.
Maybe we can have George take a look on the trade calculator.
You know, I was already doing that, right?
I figured you were.
Okay, so here's what we got. Kyler Murray in a standard 1 quarterback league, his value is 16.5. In a 2 quarterback superflex league, his value is 48.8. Mike was the closest to the pin. He offered Nick Hopkins. Nick Hopkins carried a value of 47.1, so roughly 1.7 points away. So Mike wins that one. Mark Andrews and Royce Freeman from Rob. Mark Andrews carries a value of 17.8, which, by the way, for a tight end is pretty high. Royce Freeman, on the other hand, carries next to no value, especially since they signed Melvin Gordon. His value is 2.4, so that gave it a total of 20.2. So you were roughly 28.6 points off.
Wasn't over, though.
You were not over.
Give me the fist bump.
Over. Fist bump. Jason, you traded DJ Chark, Darius Slayton, and for this game's purposes, we went with the 204.
Yeah, I did.
DJ Chark carries a value of 19.5. Darius Slayton carries a value of 6.3. the 2.04, which I feel like if you offered the 2.4 for Darius Slayton, I think they would keep Slayton. But the 2.04 carries a higher value. It carries a value of 8.1, giving you a grand total of 33.9. So we'll round up, say 34. So roughly 14 points off. So for the game purposes, you were off by 14 points. In the Dynasty League, you made the trade. Fantastic trade.
I feel like I was way closer there.
No, you weren't. Sorry, but you weren't. So
A feeling son of a gun.
So while you guys were talking about Cortland Sutton and DJ Moore, Cortland Sutton carries a value of 29.9. So if you would have subbed him out with DJ Chark, that trade would have been a lot closer. And had you gone with DJ Moore over DJ Chark, DJ Moore carries a value of 33.1. So it would have been roughly very close. It would have been about 3 or 4 points off. So
Did your math skills fail you there?
Well, I didn't add up Slayton, Moore, and the 8.1 for the 204. I didn't add that up. I was just doing quick basic math in my head. It's pretty close. So we will move on. Next person up is going to be one of Rob's favorite quarterbacks. Going to be Mr. Lamar Jackson, the MVP himself. Jason, thrown to you for first one. You're trying to acquire Lamar Jackson. What do you got?
Man, in a superflex league, I have to think Lamar Jackson is up there with Patrick Mahomes. Now, I'm going to value Patrick Mahomes higher. I think he should be a bit higher because he's done it for multiple years. Lamar Jackson's only been amazing for 1 year. And while I can see that trend continuing, I think I have to see it more than the 1 year before I can put him above Pat Mahomes. With all of that said, we know what it took basically to get Patrick Mahomes, and it's going to take another kind of stud running back. I'm going to overpay, because I know what the calculator is, and I'm going to say, man, I think the only two people that are going to be overpaying with one guy. No, I'm not going to do it with one guy. I'm going to do the 106, and I'm going to do Chris Godwin. 106 and Chris Godwin. I was going to try and throw in one of the big running backs, but I feel like that's going to be overpaying.
Okay. The 106 and Chris Godwin. Next up is Rob. Rob, you were trying to acquire your boy, your home team, your fandom, Lamar Jackson.
I'll give you everybody.
I'll give you all of the above.
The NFL. I will give you the NFL.
Yes. So, look, as much as I love Lamar Jackson, one of the things that I'm thinking about when paying for a quarterback in a dynasty league, a superflex dynasty league, is youth and durability. And Lamar Jackson has already missed a few games, albeit they were spot misses. So it's not a huge concern, but the style that he plays, we have to wonder how long can that continue. So I'm with Jason that he's going to be a little bit under where Patty Mahomes was. So I'm going to offer you A.J. Brown and Tyler Lockett.
Ooh, that's a good trade.
A.J. Brown, Tyler Lockett. All right, Mike, that leaves you up to bat.
I really can't get past the fact that Rob said underwear because I'm 12. So now that I've notated that, I'm going to offer you Michael Thomas for Lamar Jackson.
Ooh,
Straight up.
Mike comes in with these big boy trades. I like it.
Give it to me. Yep.
All right. Give me 1 minute. Just got to input the data. So one thing that I found out when doing this is Patrick Mahomes is the Patrick Mahomes is the number one valued quarterback in the league.
Oh, wow.
Number two, and it's not by a whole lot, according to this calculator, is Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep.
It's tough to say between the two guys, because they're both really, really good at football and they're both really, really good at their jobs. But one of them's starting to put rings on their fingers, so I can see it.
Yeah. The amount of points separating the two, and I'll go ahead and give you what Lamar Jackson is. So, if you remember Patrick Mahomes in a single quarterback league, his value was 22.6. Lamar Jackson, his value in a single quarterback league is 22.3. So, therefore, it's only 3-point difference, 0.3 points difference between the two. That's how close these guys are. In a superflex league, Patrick Mahomes' value was 66.7. Lamar Jackson was 65.9.
Wow, that's close.
I think they are definitely favoring his rushing ability into it because, as you know, he ran for over 1,000 yards. So I think that is definitely taken into why his value is so high. Like Rob said, the durability going forward, I don't think like next year or even the year after it will be in question, but definitely long term, we've seen running quarterbacks have nothing but issues throughout their career. Good one is Cam Newton. He can't even get signed on a team right now. Never mind having his medical issues is an understatement. Give me 1 minute. I'm just trying to add up the last two here.
Well, we appreciate that you're using a calculator, George. I trust it more.
That is definitely an understatement. So Lamar Jackson, as I said, 22.3 for single quarterback league, 0.9 for superflex league. Jason came in with the 106 and Chris Godwin. The 106 carries a value of 22 points. Chris Godwin comes in with the value of 42.6, giving Jason a total of 64.6. About 0.9 points, about 1.3 points off from the total value. So that is right there.
I also think that deal actually gets done from both sides.
I agree.
I think you could actually make that.
I have Jackson in a super flex league. If I was good on quarterbacks, I would make that deal.
If you needed a quarterback though, would you make that deal? So if you had Godwin, let's say you had wide receivers, and the 1-6 doesn't mean much to you. I mean, it means much, but it means you're missing out on quarterbacks, right?
Yep.
Like you're not getting Tua, you're not getting Burrow. You might not even get. Well, you probably get Herbert, I guess. But let's say you're not getting the big two this year with the 1-6. Do you make that deal if you have Godwin and the 1-6?
If I need a quarterback, I absolutely make that offer. If I needed a quarterback, I would make that offer. Whether the Jackson guy would accept it is another story. Probably not, unless they're good on quarterbacks.
I mean, if we're talking super flex, I'm making that trade all day long. Like, just because, dude, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, those are the two guys to have. And so if you have a piece of that, you're loving it. You're happy.
Yep. Yeah, you are.
Could I maybe change Tyler Lockett to the 102? Because I feel like I severely underbid that.
The 102.
I feel like that's acceptable. I like it. I like this move. He before you scored him.
So what we literally just witnessed was trade negotiations. And that is something that you should remember. Like, you make an initial offer, and before they reject, you can always come back and counter. And I feel like that's what we just witnessed was Rob coming back to counter.
If you veto that trade, come join a Sleeperwire league, because we don't veto Sleeperwire league.
No, we don't. I don't think we've ever seen a trade veto in that league.
No,
I've only been in one league that's where I've ever had a trade get vetoed, and it was total horseshit.
Wow. Yeah. See, I'm even if they get raped, I don't care. I'm good. I'm like, let's bring it. Like, this is what it's all about. If you can get
this wasn't a trade rape. It was literal collusion.
No, it wasn't.
It was like, I thought you were talking about the work league.
No. Where I've actually had a trade get vetoed, like one I was involved in.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, no. This was in our home league. It was bullshit. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and rescore you, Rob.
Sorry to throw a wrench in the spokes, but I feel like that's a much more appropriate offer.
I will say it
AJ
is.
Brown in the 102.
George has to take his socks back off so he can count again.
Yes.
And his pants.
I wasn't
I
wearing
mean,
those.
there's no half points in this, is there?
I don't.
Yes. They do it by decimals.
All right.
Okay.
So Rob came in with AJ Brown and the 102. I feel like that if like I'm a Lamar Jackson owner, I probably would accept that deal for Jackson, knowing at 102 I could grab either Tua or Burrow, whoever, I have whoever doesn't go 101 in a superflex draft. And on top of that, I'm getting AJ Brown, so I kind of like that. But the scores are lower than what Jason had offered. And I think that's because of the high value of Godwin.
Sure.
AJ Brown comes in at 29.5. The 102 comes in at 29.8. So they're almost equal values. Gives you a grand total of 59.6. So roughly, 6 points under, but still much better than with Tyler Lockett. Tyler Lockett only carried a value of 16.4. So you increased your offer by about 13 points. Mike comes in with Michael Thomas for Lamar Jackson, straight up. Michael Thomas carries a value of 59.8. So that gives him off by about roughly 6 points. So Jason gets the point on this one again. But of all the trades that were offered, as a Lamar Jackson owner, I think the one I personally would be more inclined to accept would be Rob's. Just knowing I can get a quarterback back with that 102 pick.
To the 102 actually is because that would be a pick that you'd be able to take a quarterback of your choosing, and I'd be getting Lamar Jackson. So
Yep.
you'd be giving up a quarterback, but you'd be getting a should-be starter in the league with that pick.
And I think that's very underrated thinking. In Superflex leagues, if you're trading away a quarterback, even if it's one of these top-tier guys, you should always be aiming to get a quarterback in return. It doesn't have to be a top-tier quarterback, but it should still be somebody that you can put in your lineup to play at that position. I'm not a huge fan of trading away quarterbacks and not getting one in return. I don't know how you guys feel. You guys have any thoughts about that?
I agree with you, George. I generally don't carry 6 or 7 quarterbacks that can start at any given time in the league. So I need to get a quarterback in return if I'm trading away top talent, Patrick Mahomes or Lamar Jackson. At least give me a Matt Stafford.
Yep.
At least give me Drew Brees. Give me Tom Brady. Give me somebody that can start in the league for a year or two, that if I'm in a bind, because I'm not giving away Lamar Jackson if I don't have 2 other starters.
Correct.
2 people that I can put in those spots. So that's how I would look at it.
Jason, Mike, you guys agree, disagree?
I actually agree with that myself. I agree.
I like that. I mean, it really does depend on what I already have on the bench. If I already have a couple busted, like still starting, but not the top tier guys, maybe I don't need one in return. But like Rob said, most of us aren't carrying 4 or 5 starters. So if you're giving away a starter, you probably have to get a starter back.
Correct. Even if it's somebody old, like Rob said, Ben Roethlisberger, Phillip Rivers, Tom Brady, somebody that's got a year or 2 left on them that you could put into position. It's very important to at least get one of those type guys back. We're going to move on next to somebody who I will admit at first I gave Mike a very hard time about this guy. I didn't think he was going to be a very good quarterback. I thought he would be a bust in the NFL. I am happy to say I was wrong. Mike, you were right. That's going to be your boy from Wyoming, Mr. Josh Allen.
Yes, I love this guy.
Mike, because you love the guy, you get to go first.
I will give you Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Saquon Barkley, one. No. Gosh dang, Josh Allen, man, that guy is something else. And he's just to me, the thing that really just turned me on about the guy was his football IQ. I mean, he's just so smart behind the ball. He's so good at what he does. Man, I'm thinking he's going to be right up there. I think he's going to be in the mid 50s, probably maybe late 40s. Whew, that's tough. I think I can give you, Oh man, I'm drawing a blank. I think if I give you Travis Kelce and let's say the 105, I'm going to give you Travis Kelce and the 105 for Josh Allen. And I think you're going to say, I'll accept that trade because you're getting a hell of a deal because you get Josh Allen. You win.
All right, that sounds interesting. Rob, you are next.
Yes.
Yes.
Will. I'm going to give you Jamison Crowder and nothing else.
Oh,
That would be so ridiculous. Can you imagine getting that trade in your inbox and just being like, just scoffing at it?
That's one of those trades where you counter. Yeah, you counter with your kicker and their best player.
love that move.
All right. So, speaking of somebody's best players, I'm going to offer up Amari Cooper.
Anything else, or just
Man.
Cooper?
Man, I think that's pretty close.
No, I'm going to give you Amari Cooper. That's what I'm giving you. And so my reasoning on that is I think Josh Allen is going to be somewhere in the 40s, maybe low 50s as well. But I think Amari Cooper's value is pretty high up there as well. He's young. He's very young. I think Cooper's only 23, and he's been in the league for, 4 or 5 years?
He's 25.
So 25. Well,
yep.
So
I just happen to know because when I put him in the calculator,
young.
it tells me how old he is.
Real young.
It's
super young guy.
Absolutely.
Real good. All young.
Right. Jason, you are up.
So it's tough for me because I wanted to use Stephon Diggs in here somewhere. And I'd love to do it with Josh Allen, but you know what? If I was trying to get Josh Allen, there's no way I'd be giving away Stephon Diggs.
Why not?
I want the stack.
Yeah.
I want that stack. So I can't go to Stephon Diggs if I'm getting Josh Allen. You know, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give away Stephon Diggs. And I got to get a quarterback back, right? That's what you said. So I'm going to do Stephon Diggs, and I want your Phillip Rivers, too. I want Phillip Rivers, Stephon Diggs. I'm trading those. I'm getting me Josh Allen. That's what I'm doing because you want a quarterback back.
Everybody wants a quarterback back.
We all want a quarterback back. So I'm giving up Phillip Rivers. I'm giving up Stephon Diggs. You're getting and I'm getting Josh Allen, the Stallion. Can I request like a 3rd-round pick though? Like, give me a 3rd, 3-1.
No.
Okay.
No, you can't ask for more back with the quarterback.
Oh, come on.
Not happening. It's not happening, sir. All right, so I will say this. Mike way overpaid, of course, but you know, you got to go out and get your guy, right? And I feel like Mike went out and Mike got his guy. Josh Allen in a single quarterback league carries a value of 12.1. In a superflex league, he carries a value of 38.5.
Whoa.
Yes. So Kelce carries a value of 27.7. The 105 carries a value of 23.9, giving Mike a grand total of 51.6. So Mike went over by about 13-ish points.
That's crazy talk. They need to give him more value.
No, here's what I was going to say after all this was scored out is that Josh Allen is criminally undervalued and he may be a buy low.
That is very, very possible. Rob comes in with Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper carries a value of 36.1. So definitely right there in the ballpark, off by about 2 points. I don't know if I would trade Amari Cooper, or if I was Josh Allen, I don't know if I would do that trade. It's just, I don't know.
For me, there's enough star power in the Amari Cooper name that if I really need a wide receiver and I have Dak and Lamar and Josh Allen,
and it's all possible.
I'm coming for your weakest lamb out there. It's kind of limping along, and I think Josh Allen is really, a wolf in sheep's clothing, but your weakest little lamb, and I'm just going to pick him off with Amari Cooper.
I like it. It's like I said, it's within 2 points. It's right there. Jason comes in with Stephon Diggs, who carries a value of 24.5, and then he threw in Phillip Rivers, who carries a value of 13.7. That gave Jason a total of 38.2, roughly 0.3 points off. Jason gets the point. and he might be cheating. I think he is.
I'm absolutely not cheating. Listen.
I think he's got
wanted
the
to throw-
calculator up on his computer there, and he's just typing this in. That's just me.
Oh, stop it.
We're 13 on what? That's what I have to say about that. What? You know?
Well, so he's so the only reason I'd say that is he's on a team. You know, the Colts. I think the Colts are going to be halfway decent this year. But listen, 13 points, like
13 points for a quarterback in a super flex league, honestly, is not that high.
That's disturbing.
So
you're telling
if
me
you
that Philip Rivers' value in a single quarterback league is only 4 points.
4 points, yeah.
I will tell you
About
exactly. I will tell you exactly what it's worth.
Everything's been about a third.
It's
so
worth 2.3 points.
Oh, 2.3. Wow.
Yeah.
What?
38.
I mean, he's on his last.
It's a 38-year-old quarterback in a dynasty league. They carry next to no value, and that's why we were saying in these trades, like, ask for if you're trading away these younger quarterbacks, always ask for an aging quarterback in return. Like, they really carry next to no value, but they will carry value on your team because in a pinch you could throw them in your starting lineup. You know, Philip Rivers. If I had 3 quarterbacks and Philip Rivers was my third quarterback, and I know I got to start him on bye weeks, like, I'm totally fine with that. That's okay. I've got no problem doing that. But I don't value Philip Rivers very much in a dynasty league where you got to start 2 quarterbacks. Though it's just between his age, he's on his last contract. Jason thinks the Colts are going to be pretty good this year. I think they're going to be okay. It's just,
well, you know, I started thinking about it, and then I started thinking about their wide receivers, and other than T.Y. Hilton, like, maybe they're not going to be all that great.
Paris
But
Campbell.
So they got Paris
Yeah.
Campbell. They could. I was just going to say they could draft one this year, but they traded away their
first round pick. Yeah.
Tons of day 2 talent, though. There's going to be.
Yeah, I mean,
gonna be
wide receivers a deep class this year, so that's okay.
You can get productive wide receivers in this draft in the 4th and 5th round. Seriously.
So I think I'm going to coin a new term, and it's oh no, I think I forgot it. But implied situational value. So if you have one quarterback in a super flex league, because everybody else is injured and you need to trade to get a starting quarterback, the person sitting across from you has the ability to tax the living hell out of you. And that's one thing that trade calculators don't ever take into consideration is implied situational value.
Correct.
So it's something to keep in mind while you're looking at trades. Look at the person's roster and make sure you're not getting fleeced because, you know, Bill O'Brien exists in every league out there. So try not to be Bill O'Brien of your fantasy league.
Well, some friends of George and I, one of their philosophies in Dynasty Superflex startups is to take a ton of quarterbacks.
They will draft like 6 quarterbacks in the first 8 rounds.
And here's the thing: you're going to pay the quarterback tax, and that's what they call it, the quarterback tax.
Yep.
You need a starting quarterback. Come pay the quarterback tax.
Yeah,
I
because
won't trade with those people. I hate that. Oh, God,
they
I hate
have
that.
they have the mentality that in a startup draft you can get quarterbacks cheaper there than at any other time in the dynasty league. Is you got them in the startup draft. So in a startup draft, they'll draft 6, 7, 8 quarterbacks. Most of them being starters, some being high upside backups. And when you need a quarterback, they're going to tax the hell out of you if you need a quarterback. It's not
With
something.
all due respect to your friends, George, those are the kinds of people that would hide a zombie bite during the apocalypse.
Oh,
Yes,
I agree.
love it.
It's not a philosophy I subscribe to. Like I'm the type of person where I want three starting quarterbacks. In a 12 teams startup dynasty, I want 3 starting quarterbacks.
These are the guys.
Your friends
These are
offer
the guys.
toilet paper for $12 a roll.
No. These are the guys that has sick time come to work with COVID.
Sadistic, man. It's fucking sadistic. quarterback tax. Quarterback. I'll tell you where you can put your
This is
quarterback tax.
but this is one of those things where you have to know your league mates, and you have to know how they draft. When you're doing your draft, you have to watch what everybody else is doing. Don't worry about just your team. You need to know, okay, I've got 18 picks between my next 2 picks. I've got 1 quarterback, and this guy over here already has 4. You might start seeing it thinking, okay, there's a trend. He's just going to keep drafting the quarterbacks. And so you may want to say, okay, I really want this wide receiver, but because of what other people are doing, I'm going to have to jump earlier than I feel comfortable doing just to get myself a second quarterback. Like you got to pay attention in your draft to what everybody else is doing.
Absolutely. Completely agree with you.
Our next quarterback on the docket is Mr. Dak Prescott. Mike, you are first for Mr. Prescott. What are you giving me to get him?
Oh man, I'm guessing about 46-ish. I'd say probably, man, who's about 46? Who's a good? Let's say Aaron Jones and Kenny Galladay.
Oof.
I think Mike's there. I think he's close.
Aaron Jones and Galladay, I think I'm going to go on a limb and say he's overpaying. Per the calculator, I think he's overpaying.
All right, Rob, you are next.
Farfig Nugan. I was hoping you were going to throw it to Jason.
I'll go.
Okay, yes.
I'm going to say, because I agree with Mike, I think he's around 46. I'm going to say Cortland Sutton and Todd Gurley.
It's a good combo. I like it.
So a little bit of youth, a little bit of age,
All right, Rob, that brings it back to you.
All right. I'm going to give you Calvin Ridley and Jarvis Landry. Although I don't think that would get it done in real life. I think I should be... man, okay, so... Gosh. Maybe I'm going to throw a pick on that. So it's Jarvis Landry. Who's my other guy?
Calvin Ridley.
Yeah, thank you. Calvin Ridley. Oh, man. Yeah, let me throw the 206 on there. I feel like I got to sweeten it up to get up there in that 46 range because I am definitely on board with that evaluation. Are we really saying he's 20 points less than Mahomes?
We might be.
Josh Allen was.
Josh Allen was more than that.
Yeah.
All right.
But Philip Rivers, our
guy. Philip Rivers.
He's got lots of kids to feed. He needs more points.
He needs a shirt that says, I got kids.
That's a point per kid. That's what he gets in this league.
EPK. Him and Joe Flacco are the number 1 quarterbacks.
Right? All of a sudden, out of nowhere, boom. It's a PPK league.
Point per kid.
Cromartie's coming out of retirement. He's going to be the best quarterback in this league.
Ever.
Position change. All right, so I've got these totaled. I will say everybody went over.
Boo.
But Rob was closest. Went over, but was the closest. And you didn't go over by very much, less than a point.
Good
Lord.
I mean, I think like in Price is Right, if you're within $1, you get it.
I can give it to him.
Yeah, I like that.
That's a sympathy point, but I'll give it to him.
Yeah.
I mean, like, if you're within 1 point, like, you're on point for that trade.
Yeah, it is. It is. It absolutely is. So, Dak Prescott in a single quarterback league carries a value of 13.3. In a superflex league, he carries a value of 39.4.
Oh, wow.
Aaron Jones, and I don't know why I shake my head at this, but he carries a value of 28.1.
Yeah, that's shakeable.
Yes.
That's right.
Kenny Galladay carries a value of 27.1, which gives you a total of 55.2. So, Mike, you went over by about 13 points.
Yeah, boo.
Rob offered up Jarvis Landry, Calvin Ridley, and the 206. Calvin Ridley carries a value of 19.1. Jarvis Landry carries a value of 15.0, and the rookie pick carries a value of 6.1, which gives you a grand total of 40.2. So you went over by 0.8 points. Like I said, you were definitely by far the closest. Jason comes in with Cortland Sutton and Todd Gurley. Cortland Sutton carries a value of 29.9. Todd Gurley carries a value of 17.6. That gives you a total of 47.5. So you're over by about 8 points.
And see, I thought Dak Prescott should be around 46, so I was like right where I thought
Yeah.
Dak's value was.
I was surprised that his value in a superflex is as low as it is. And I don't know. I mean, I don't know why. I think Dak Prescott is one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL personally. So I'm not sure why he's as low as he is. Like I think he should be in the mid 40s myself, but I don't know. I've got 4 quarterbacks left. We're gonna these ones right here are, one of them is an older quarterback. I'll give you that one, and then a couple of them, 2 guys who are former. One's a former number 1 overall. One is, I think it was a top 5 pick, and I think the other one's a top 5 pick as well. So these are a couple guys that are, one older guy, then a couple younger quarterbacks who there's some question marks about them. We'll leave it at that. First one up is Matt Ryan. He's our older quarterback. Jason, I'll throw it to you first.
And he's got to be. So, guys, tell me what you think. Do you think he's in the mid 20s?
My first initial guess was 32.2. That's what my brain went to right away.
My problem with that is Dak was only in the upper 30s.
Right. Yeah, that's very true.
I'm like, with the age difference between the two, Matt Ryan's still getting it done, but man, he's in his mid 30s. I want to give you Adam Thielen. I'm going to give you Adam Thielen, and I want to give you the 110 to get that done.
Adam Thielen and the 110. All right. Mike, you are next, sir.
I think I'm going to hit the nail on the head right here and say Stephon Diggs for the win.
Okay. And Rob, last but certainly not least.
Okay. Well, I was going to get a little ridiculous, but I don't want to put like 6 guys together to try and equal one Matt Ryan. So I like Matt Ryan. I'm a little biased. If I was actually going to go out and try and get him, as far as the older quarterbacks, I think he's the best of the bunch. He's been a top 5 quarterback recently, so and he's got a lot of weapons. Julio, they obviously have a breakout tight end in Austin Hooper, and the guy I went with last time, Calvin Ridley. So definitely excited. Oh no, Austin Hooper went to the Browns, didn't he?
Yep.
And now they have Hayden Hurst.
Yep, they got
Now
Hayden
they have
Hurst.
Hayden Hurst. Yeah, who I do like there, and I like his opportunity. So, okay, but in real talk, I'm going to give you Michael Gallup.
Anything else?
And the 210. Yeah, and the 210.
All right, Michael
For
Gallup
some reason,
and the
I feel like
210.
Michael Gallup carries some value here, and I don't want to overshoot too much from where he is. So he's a nice young. I'm going to keep the Cowboys wide receivers on the move here, even though in reality I would probably hold Michael Gallup. I like him a lot.
All right, well, I will say this. One person went over. 2 people are pretty close. Pretty close. Actually, I lied. 2 people went over, and 1 person $1'd it.
Yes, I think that was me.
Well, Mike, you were actually the closest, but you did go over.
Oh, damn it.
You're going to be. I mean, listen, it's semantics with how close you were to going over. Jason offered up Thielen and the 110. Thielen carried it. Well, let me give you their values first. So Matt Ryan carries a value in a single quarterback league of 5.8. In a superflex league, he carries a value of 24.1.
Oh, wow.
Jason offered up Adam Thielen and the 110. Adam Thielen carries a value of 13.6. The 110 carries a value of 15.5. Gives you a total of 29.1. So over by exactly 5 points.
Damn.
Mike offered up Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs carries a value of 24.5, so you went over by 0.4 points.
Oh, boo.
Yes, boo. Rob offered up Michael Gallup and the 210. Michael Gallup carries a value of 17.2. The 210 carries a value of 4.1, giving you a total of 21.3. So you're roughly 2.5 points off.
Yeah, but I didn't like that wasn't a true $1 answer. I didn't say
That's a lot
Jamison
closer
Crowder.
than the $1.
No,
Well,
Yeah.
so Mike $1 did. I think both Rob and Mike get the points based on previous precedent. Like Mike was off by 0.4, so he has to get the point, right?
I did give you both a point. Yeah, it was super close. Like I said, Stephon Diggs at 24.5 was definitely like right there at that value.
Can I mention something I just noticed?
Yeah.
You know Matt Stafford is only 1 year older than Russell Wilson. Why does he seem like he's like 30 years older in NFL years?
Because he plays for the Lions.
That's probably it.
He plays for Detroit, and he's on TV every Thanksgiving.
Like Matt Stafford played with Megatron, and I feel like Russell Wilson was in diapers when Megatron was in the NFL. Why do doesn't it just feel like that?
I think Matt Stafford came in at a very young age as well. Like, very, very young age. Next one up, we have Philadelphia's own Carson Wentz.
Ooh.
Rob, you get to go first on this one.
Yowzes.
He's tough to grade.
He is.
Yeah,
he's very tough.
Because he's young, but he's injury prone.
And they've had problems with weapons around him. So, man, I think because of his youth that he's still going to be up there around Dak in the value, though. So, good Lord. All right. You know what? I want Carson Wentz, so I'm going to come with the heat.
Bring it,
I'm going
brother.
to offer you Josh Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs.
And the 110 for Carson Wentz.
Woo! Are you in any leagues with me, bud?
Yeah, I think you're over. I think you're overpaying.
Okay, so let me go ahead and pull the 110.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
All right, so we're going
Who's
to nix the 110.
Is that it?
Okay. All right, next on the clock is Mike. Mike, you are up.
Cortland Sutton for me. I think that's going to be right around there. I think I got Carson Wentz at about 30 points. So.
All right.
Yeah, I think I have him at like 32, 33. I'm going to throw Derrick Henry out there.
Nice.
He was lower when we did that. I don't remember exactly where he was, but I do remember back when we did the running backs, I remember Derrick Henry being a good bit lower than I expected him to be, and I think he was in the 32 range. I'm going to go with Derrick Henry.
Good call. Yeah, 32.5 was the exact number that I hit in my head when he first said Carson Wentz.
All right, so you guys talked. Well, let me give you the value first. Carson Wentz in a single quarterback league carries a value of 12.2. In a superflex league, he carries a value of 36.0.
Ooh, we were close, Jason.
Oh, so close.
Yep.
That was pretty.
Jason went with Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry carries a value of 30.0.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
Well, it gets better, Mike, because he just edged you out. Cortland Sutton carries a value of 29.9.
So I have a bad feeling because Rob's going third.
He edged you out by 0.1 points. So it gets better. You guys convinced Rob to get rid of the 110. That was a smart move. He offered Josh Jacobs up straight up for him. Josh Jacobs carries a value of 34.3. So that means Rob was off by a little over 1.5 points. So Rob gets the point on that one. And it was because you guys talked him out of the 110, because the 110 would have put him. Well, let me real
Way
quick.
over.
Yeah, I'll look at the
guys.
value of 1.10 real quick.
Yeah, we got your back, Rob. We don't want to win like that. I was like a 110 and Josh Jacobs. That's just way too much, man. Like Josh Jacobs is talent all on his own.
Yeah, I did that in the running back episode. I missed on Josh Jacobs by where I undervalued him somewhere. So I remember him being right around the mid 30s, and that's what I was aiming for.
The rookie pick that you offered, the 110, carries a value of 15.5. So that would have put you up, 49 points. So you would have went way over. So good job on that one. You guys were all right there in the ballpark. That was fantastic. The next one I have is a quarterback who you either like him or you don't. There's no gray area, in my opinion, with this guy. He's a former number 1 overall pick. Jason, you're going to go first for this one. It's Baker Mayfield.
Oh, wow.
Man, Baker is tough for me because I was, and I don't know if you remember this, George, you and I having this discussion last offseason where I was not on the Baker train like everybody else was. But I think okay, maybe he's over his second year.
Sophomore slump.
Yeah, man, I think 30, maybe 30 is right around where he's at. And I'm trying to pick guys we haven't used already. Give me Baker Mayfield.
I'm trying to.
I know you are. And I'm trying to think of, because I don't even want Baker Mayfield. I've got to find somebody that's worth around 30 points that we haven't used. Brandon Cooks, who just got traded to Houston, and Robert Woods.
Former teammate.
Brandon Cooks and Robert Woods. Former teammates. Yep. I want out of the Rams. I want out of the Rams like Brandon Cooks did.
Well, he hit his head so hard he wanted to go to Houston.
Listen, Brandon Cooks, if you look at the quarterbacks he's got to play for, it's really not fair. He started with Drew Brees, then Brady, then Goff, and now he's got Deshaun Watson. This dude, honestly, he's had some of the best quarterbacks who ever played the game as his quarterback. Right. you have other wide receivers who would kill to have that quarterback lineage throwing them the ball. It's crazy. Mike, you're up next, sir. What you got for Baker?
Man, see, so I was thinking more like 22.7 to 25.
So you're lower on him than I am.
See, and I just feel like that's where he's going to be calculated at. I'm higher than that on him. I would actually, if I was giving him an evaluation, I'd say about a 35, something like that. I do see a lot of potential in that kid's arm. I think he's going to be okay at the end of the day, but I feel like this calculator is going to put him at 22.5. Goodness sakes, I'm going to say DJ Moore, and I'm going to call it good because, we haven't said him tonight either. I'm with that in the same spirit of, not using the same guys we've used. So I'm going to say Moore.
Mike, if he shows up at 22.5, to me, even though I was off him last year, he's a 24-year-old starting quarterback with talent. He's put together a good year. I'm at 22 points, I'm buying him.
Yeah, go get him. I think that's where he's going to land, unfortunately. I feel like a lot of people just are starting to put question marks around his talent, and I agree. I feel like he is a great buy low candidate.
Well, speaking of buying low, Rob, what are you buying for Baker Mayfield for?
All right. I see that. I see that comment there, George. I see it there, buddy. So,
fist bump.
We're gonna just shorten that to fisting at this moment. We're gonna fist. Okay. So remember, no handshaking out there, and I'm gonna go with Cooper Kupp. And
you're out on the Rams too, huh?
Yeah. You know what? We're just getting rid of them, guys. Goodbye, Rams. Because Jared Goff doesn't deserve to throw to people as good as these wide receivers. So that's how I feel about that. I'm going to give you Cooper Kupp and continue giving away Rams and add Tyler Higbee. Tyler Higbee.
All right, Cooper Kupp and Tyler Higbee.
Yes.
Give me 1 second
Who
to.
I do think is the better tight end to own in I almost said St. Louis. Holy cow. What a
Throwback.
blast from the past. From LA.
All right, so I've tallied up all the scores. Everybody went over. Baker Mayfield in a single quarterback league carries a value of 6.0. In a super flex league, he carries a value of 24.7. So when you say
guys,
buy low candidate,
go buy Baker.
Go buy Baker. Yes. Go buy Baker.
Buy Baker, guys.
Rob offered up Cooper Kupp and Tyler Higbee. Cooper Kupp carries a value of 22.2. I was hoping he would have stopped right there, but he added Tyler Higbee, who carries a relatively modest value of 5.5. That pushes him up to 27.7. So he went over by 3 points. Not bad. Not bad at all. Here's my dilemma. I'm a Baker fan, self-admittedly. I probably would not accept any of these offers for Mayfield because I'm a guy that's high on him. Him and Darius Geis are the two guys that I'm higher than most people on. So I personally would not. I don't know if anybody else would, but I probably would not.
All right.
Mike offered up DJ Moore. DJ Moore carries a value of 33.1. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah. The hype on DJ Moore is real. So with the additions of Teddy Bridgewater and Robbie Anderson, his value, I mean, it's higher. I don't value DJ Moore as high as most people. But
yeah, sell that guy and buy Baker Mayfield.
So I think the biggest problem. So I think honestly with Teddy Bridgewater coming in, that's not bad for DJ Moore because DJ Moore's not the down the field threat, and Teddy Bridgewater is not a down the field guy. So what DJ Moore does is those quick bubble screens and the over the middle quick catches, and I think Robbie Anderson was dumb for going there with a guy like Teddy Bridgewater as quarterback, and I think Curtis Samuel's stock plummets.
I think
because now you've got two deep threats.
I think Anderson went there because they offered him the most money. So I don't.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I don't think it was stupid on his part for going there. They offered him the most money, so yeah, I'm gonna go get paid. And I don't blame the man for going to get paid.
He also played college ball at Temple under Matt Rule, who is now the new head coach of the Carolina Panthers, and I don't think that can be overlooked.
It cannot.
Because whether or not that was the most money on the table, that's definitely he knows how to use Robbie Anderson, and I think Robbie Anderson thinks he's going to come in there and get number one style looks. So I think it'll be interesting to watch the competition between DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson, who they say they view as not just a one-trick pony. That's somebody that can run the entire route tree.
Yep. So. It was definitely cannot be undersold how important the coaching staff there was for Anderson as well. Good point, Rob. Very good point. The last one we had was Jason. He brought in Brandon Cooks and Robert Woods, former teammates in Los Angeles. Cooks, I don't think his value has changed since the trade being. I pulled this up tonight, and the trade was announced earlier today. Cooks had a value of 9.1. Robert Woods carried a value of 16.7. Gives you a grand total of 25.8. So, about a point off, 1.1 points off. I think Cook's value will change slightly. I think it'll go up slightly just because of the fact he's most likely going to be the number one wide receiver now in Houston.
Aren't all those guys the same type of wide receiver, though? Like Fuller's a deep threat, Cooks is a deep threat, Stills is a deep threat. The only guy they have is Kiki QT that's over the middle guy, but he can't stay healthy or on the field.
You are
so
besmirching.
They have three.
You are besmirching the name of Randall Cobb, sir.
Oh yeah, I forgot that guy.
Yeah, remember they signed him for a huge contract. It's just crazy.
Yeah. Well, they had to replace DeAndre Hopkins.
And they did.
Well, I mean, who else to replace him with?
Randall Cobb. Exactly.
You know what it is? Is Bill O'Brien really just didn't want to do any draft via the internet. So he's just like, here, have all my picks.
Exactly.
Bill O'Brien just goes, all that I want to do next year is have slant routes. I'm going to have slant routes coming from every single angle, every single play. Slant routes.
Slants and goes.
Yep, slant.
Bill O'Brien's definitely playing Madden. He's like, yep, I'm skipping all the offseason draft stuff. I don't care. I'm just going to give away all my picks.
How do I pick my plays? XX, boys. XX. That's all I got to do.
Yep. So speaking of Bill O'Brien and Brandon Cooks and Deshaun Watson, the very last quarterback we have on the list is Deshaun Watson. Rob, you're going first on this one. What are you giving up to acquire Deshaun Watson?
So this is intriguing because just given the scale, I'm going to put him up probably in the 50s. I like Deshaun Watson a lot, but unfortunately, Brandon Cooks and Randall Cobb don't replace DeAndre Hopkins. So I don't think he's going to lose a whole lot of value due to that, but he's still young. I mean, does a front office devalue a quarterback? Is that possible?
It's very much possible.
Well, I'm gonna give you Tyreek Hill and the 1-4. I know I'm swinging big here, but I really think that Deshaun Watson still holds some pretty good value here.
Okay,
I
and
may be overshooting it.
you'd be surprised.
Who's next?
Jason, you are next.
Okay, good. I'm gonna pull a mic here. I'm gonna big boy trade this just to end this out. I'm Dalvin Cooking this one. I'm giving you Dalvin Cook for Deshaun Watson. This is a Mike move. This is I'm laying Michael Thomas on the table, but with Dalvin Cook.
Okay, and Mike, how you going out, sir? What do you got for Deshaun Watson?
I'm giving you the Devil, Singletary, the 101, and the 301.
Wow.
All right, I got all the scores here. Deshaun Watson, even given all the stuff that's been going on with that team this offseason, is still the third highest valued scoring quarterback on these charts. He came in at a single quarterback league at 17.7. In superflex leagues, he came in at 52.3. He was the only him, Mahomes, and Lamar Jackson were the only quarterbacks scored 50 points or higher. No other quarterback was in the 50s that I could have even pulled from to score. Mike gave up Devil Singletary, the 101, and the 301. Devin Singletary carries a trade value of 15.9. The rookie 101 pick carries a value of 33.1. And the rookie 301 pick carries a value of 2.6, giving you a grand total of 52.3. No, 51.6, excuse me. Sorry, I looked at the wrong number there. So, Mike, you were super close. You were the closest to the pin by far. So you were roughly, 0.7 points off. So nice one on that trade. That was a well put together package. If I had Watson, I would probably make that trade if I needed a running back, because I know I can get a quarterback with the 101. So
yep, absolutely.
So if you were looking to buy Watson, that's a pretty good trade offer for him. Jason came in with big boy trade Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook carries a value of 49.2. So you were roughly 3 points off. Still a solid trade off.
And I think that gets it done.
I think I agree with that. I think I'd make that trade if I'm the Deshaun Watson owner.
It's possible. It's definitely possible. You may have to throw in an aging, Brady, Rivers, Roethlisberger's, one of those type guys in there. But yeah, it definitely could get it done for sure. The last one was Rob. Rob came in, when he says big boy trade, he doesn't lie. He came in with Tyreek Hill and the 104. Tyreek Hill, I was confused with him because I think he's way overvalued. He came in at a score of 44.0.
Whoa.
Yeah, way high. And I'm wondering if that's because they just signed him to a new long-term deal, and he's going to have Patrick Mahomes most of his career. I'm wondering how much that affects his scoring, but I think he was about 10 points higher than he should have been. The 104 comes in at 25.7 to give you a total of 69.7. So you were over
69.
Yes, 69. Focus on the positives.
Rob,
Focus on
Rob
the
wins
positives.
again.
Rob wins by default the whole game.
Yes.
Entire game, I win now.
Well, so let me ask, because we're talking about Tyreek Hill being overvalued, but who would you rather have, Tyreek Hill or DJ Moore?
I would rather have Tyreek Hill.
In a heartbeat.
Yep. In a heartbeat, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's who he's tied to, and I'm not that big of a fan of DJ Moore.
Well, remember, DJ Moore's 33 points, so is 43 points for Tyreek Hill really that far off?
Tyreek Hill is 44 points. DJ Moore is 33 points.
So right, so it's 11 points
difference.
off. Would you give 11 points to trade up?
Yeah. Wow. That's crazy.
I mean, you're talking about Phillip Rivers and DJ Moore to get Tyreek Hill. Wouldn't you do that?
DJ Moore is way too overvalued, is what that says to me. But I feel like that's a good value for Tyreek Hill. I really do. I feel like he is worth that. That guy has the potential to be the number one wide receiver in the league. And I mean, exactly the fact that you have Patrick Mahomes out there throwing to you and he's young. I mean, yeah, I think Tyreek Hill is definitely worth that 40.
What if I did Tyreek Hill in the 203 instead of the 103? Just out of shits and giggles. Obviously, Mike won the round with that amazing offer.
Yeah, I think you're probably under at that point.
Yeah, but
maybe it's closer.
Yeah, because he's like 44, and I think the 203 is going to be somewhere around, 8?
So with that one, Rob, you would have been within 1 point.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, that would have been 53.1, so you'd have been 0.9 points over, but within 1 point.
So can we play a game? And I don't know the answer to this game, but I want to see. Can we play a separate game? Is Jameis Winston worth more or less than Phillip Rivers?
Oh, I can tell you right now, he is worth.
Yeah, he's got to be way more.
I don't think way more. He's not on a
I
team.
don't think way more, but I think 22 to 25 is where I'd put Jameis.
So before I had Watson on here, I actually had Winston on here just because I want to take a dig at Winston because I've never been a fan of his. Winston comes in at a single quarterback league at 3.4.
Wow.
For single quarterback league, and in a super flex, he comes in at 16.2.
Whoa.
So more than Rivers, but not by much.
Yeah, well, and it's because of age. And he's
it'll go back up once he's actually on a team. Like, I do want to congratulate Jameis Winston. This is the longest time in his career he's gone without being picked. But
I hope he was sitting down for that joke.
yeah, I don't know. He I don't know, man. Like he should. I think he'll have a team within 2 weeks of the draft.
I think he'll wait till after the draft before he signs.
Yeah. So here's what's going on right now: is all these teams are looking at specific quarterbacks, and if they don't get the guy they want in the draft, well, Jameis Winston, Cam Newton, they're out there. So there's some insurance out there for those teams that might not get the quarterback that they're hoping to get. Like, and I've heard it a lot. This isn't original, but the Steelers would be a really decent spot for Winston if he's willing to take a sizable pay cut to go to, because Ben's not there long. You've got a guy who's got NFL caliber starts. It's not going to be Duck Hodges like throwing the ball into the dirt. So that would be a really good spot for him. But I think maybe they're looking at a quarterback in the draft, and if they get the guy they want, then they don't have to pick up Winston and his probably $8 to $10 million for the year he's going to want.
Yeah, two more. The Chargers and the Patriots. Keep an eye on those two because right now they're saying they're standing pat with the people they got, but I just don't see a whole lot of confidence in those organizations right now.
Well, I'm doing a show tomorrow night. And it's going to be going over the rookie quarterbacks plus some of the quarterbacks that are in the league. And I'll let you guys in on a little secret that I haven't told, and well, Rob knows because he's going to be doing it with me. But we scheduled a guest for the show. We got Mark Schofield. He's fucking a brilliant dude when it comes to quarterbacks.
Nice.
He's agreed to join the show with us tomorrow night, and we're going to go over we're going to go over some of the quarterbacks and the rookies, and it's going to be interesting being able to pick his brain on some of these quarterbacks and what the teams are thinking. He's a huge Patriots fan. I know for a fact his stance on them is he thinks that Jared Stidham is going to get the opportunity to start for New England. They're not going to bring anybody in, and it's a win-win situation for the Patriots. Either Stidham's going to go in and be competent and they're going to roll with him going forward, or he's going to suck so bad that they're going to be in the running for Trevor Lawrence next year.
So I think a lot of the tough thing for some of these teams, especially like with like the Patriots and a difficult to learn offense, we don't know what this COVID's going to do to OTAs and training camp. Yep. And if you're bringing in a brand new quarterback to learn a whole new system, and it's a guy like Winston or Cam Newton who are physically gifted but have had the stigma of maybe not picking up the playbook as often as you'd like them to, like you need somebody like a Tom Brady or Phillip Rivers. That's why I think they might be okay going to new teams, because you've got like veterans who have been doing this a long time who could probably pick up the playbook a lot quicker than like these younger guys or guys who rely a lot on their physical talent.
Yep. Completely agree.
Well, I think that's the end of the game. So tell me Mike won, and then we can move on.
So to recap the scores, we are all within so there's 3 points separating first place from last place. So you guys did really good, to be honest. Jason had a total of 9 points, so he had the most points. Mike,
I was going to say Jason won.
Mike came in second. You had 8 points. Rob, you came in third. You had 6 points. So it's only 3 points separating, the three of you. In any type of a trade deal, going by a calculator, if you're within 3 points, that's a good thing. So all three of you did fantastic.
Yeah, I learned a lot in this, man. I feel like I've been shooting people good trade offers. And I feel like I'm gonna like trading with Jason a lot and Rob a lot. I mean, Rob seems to go a little heavy-handed, but I think maybe he learned that about himself during this whole thing too. Like maybe kind of take a ease back approach and try to maybe feel them out and see what they'll offer you back to kind of get the good, get the best value out of that. But I really feel like Jason was hitting almost every nail on the head. It was hard when you're losing, but you're losing by 0.6 points and things like that. You made a great trade, but just not good enough for the calculator. And I don't know. That was awesome. That was some really good competition, boys. Good job.
Yeah, man, it was fun. I don't typically do a lot of trades. The one thing I've learned about myself is I typically value my players way too much, and I undervalue everybody else's players.
That's not just you. That's everybody who plays fantasy football.
Yeah. So, but the thing I've learned about this is, there are guys. The one thing I can tell is there are guys out there that I don't like. I don't like Baker Mayfield. But at was it 22 or 24 points? I can't remember. But 24 points. Let's say 24 points. That dude's a buy low.
Yeah, he's 24.7 on this Dynasty trade calculator.
Yeah, that guy is a buy low. So there's guys out there that I don't like that this game kind of helped me go, okay, man, I can't believe he's only at 24 points. Josh Allen was only at 35 points. Like those guys, those are the next potential studs in this league. So, fortune favors the bold. Go get those guys. And it seems like you can get them for pennies on the dollar.
Yeah, I took away from this. There are certain players that I personally don't value very much, but the calculator says that I should be a little higher on them than I am. I took away like Todd Gurley, for example. He came in at 17.6 points. Like at that price point, I'll go out and I'm going to try to acquire me some Todd Gurley in some leagues, just because if people are that low on him, and if you look at the calculator, I'll more than happy to pay up a little bit to get a Todd Gurley, knowing I value him a little bit more than the calculator does.
Well, and the fun thing about having the calculator is you can show people the values selectively when you agree, when it helps you. So like Todd Gurley, I feel like he's higher than 17 points, but if I wanted you to believe he's 17 points, I'll screenshot that calculator.
Yeah.
Here you go, 17 points. He's right here.
Yeah.
You can use it to your advantage when you need to.
Yeah, for me, one of the things that I took out of this is Mike, I regret nothing, YOLO. B, when it comes to actual trading, yeah, I usually do value my guys a little bit more, but I'm not a huge fan of Dynasty trade calculators. So for my first journey into numerical evaluations of players with these calculators, I don't feel like I did too badly. My first episode was horrific, and then I really brought it up the next few. So I while I still will not be living by these calculators, there definitely is a place for them, because if you're not sure of the value of a player, it is a good thing to kind of take a look at what some other people think the value is. Don't overpay. Don't give Tyreek Hill and the 103 when you only need to give Tyreek Hill and the 203.
Correct.
Opposite end of that thing is, if you've got a guy out there that is using a trade calculator, like, just go ahead and put up stuff in your, figure out what trade calculator is using first off and foremost, but then go ahead and start putting trades together. And I mean, if they look at something and they see it's an even value, you might be able to just get steals in there, just throw in 3 players that are worth 10 for the one guy that's worth 30 or something like that, because all that they're looking at is numbers. So just a little, I don't know, I've used that to my advantage a few times where they're like, well, we're 5 points off. I'm like, oh, excellent. I'm just going to hit you with numbers from now on. You're going to look at numbers and not names. I'm good with that, because I'm looking at names and opportunity the whole time. So
correct. You could definitely use these calculators to your advantage if that's strictly what they're going by. Personally, I use them as a reference guide. Like, I know if I'm going to make an offer, I'll run it through a calculator to see if a calculator says it's close. And if it is, I'll feel comfortable offering, because I don't want to be the guy that goes out and just completely lowballs, not even remotely close as an initial offer, because 9 times out of 10, you won't even get a response back.
This is true.
So,
yeah.
With that said, Mike, Jason, Rob, I appreciate you guys battling through these trades with me. I have some more games that I would definitely like us to be playing more this offseason. I'm going to get to work on some of them. I'm not going to give you any clues to what they are, but I have more stuff coming down the pike here. Let's go ahead and close this thing out. I'm sorry?
Is that one of the games? Yeah, I was going to say.
Mike, yeah. He said we're playing Clue.
On the same page. Was that a hint?
It's not Miss Plum in no study with the candlestick, if that's what you're asking.
Rob in his bedroom with nipple clamps.
Yes.
That may be a little bit closer. So anyway, let's go ahead and shut this thing down for the evening. Rob, go ahead and tell the people where they can find you.
Nowhere with nipple clamps, that's for damn sure. But on Twitter, you can find me at Esorbor1. That's ESORBOR1, because my name is Rob Rose, and that is my name backwards. Remember, people, stay safe.
Jason?
You can catch me at BFTG Jason on Twitter.
And Mike?
And you can find me at Dirty Jobs. And remember, like Rob said, stay safe, stay clean, stay home.
And you can find me at BFT Pod on Twitter. Also, follow the Sleeperwire on Twitter. It's at Sleeperwire Show. Subscribe to the Sleeperwire Network. We have a lot more original off-season content coming to you. Both more of these games, Dynasty content. Once the draft gets here, we'll be going deep dives into the drafts and the rookie landing spots and all that. So until next time, have a great evening, or a great day, or a great morning.
And in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.